Now News Extra on KNEB and brought to you by Intralinks. And here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. We have Bayard Mayor Michelle Coolidge here today to tell us about what's going on in the community of Bayard, and she's also chairman of the Western Nebraska Economic Development Group, so we'll touch on that a little bit during our discussion this morning. And she's here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go. Huh?
Yeah, I actually feel like I am, and that's kind of unusual this time of the morning. So if the universe shudders because Michelle's got brainwaves going, I take full responsibility.
All right, good deal. All right, let's talk first of all about some of the things that's going on in town. I guess the biggest thing in town is this new 24/7 fitness center, huh?
Yeah, we're excited about that. It's called Flex Fitness, and it's a local resident that put his own time and energy, he and his wife, to get it open. And it is 24/7 access. We've got a couple of treadmills. There's a recumbent bike and some spinning machine, a couple of elliptical machines, and just things that you would expect to find in a fitness area, as well as on the other side of the building, there's a circuit system similar to Curves. So pay your membership, and you have you're given a code to be able to go in and go when it works with your schedule, and it's just generated a lot of excitement. Number one, to have something downtown on our main street of that caliber, and just to be able to have access to that, where people have been taking advantage of those types of services in other communities. So to have it in our own downtown is very exciting. So we're really glad to have it there. Flex Fitness.
All right, yeah. Very good. That sounds great. City-wise, you're on the tail end of a project to put in a new water treatment plant in your community, and that's something that started probably with water meters and distribution lines and all that, and just moving into this phase, right?
Right. And the treatment facility is the last bit of that, and we're yet to go to bid. And the documents may be on this street. I'm not sure what the timeline was with that, but as far as awarding anything and starting construction, we're hoping that that'll get started in the coming months. And of course, that takes a little bit of time, but it is kind of the final phase of a long project that we're anxious to see be completed.
Yeah. And then your electrical infrastructure is pretty good. You guys took care of that 3 or 4 years ago. You said was kind of an iffy deal until you decided to change some things, huh?
Absolutely. We had one central location, and I don't know if that's the right term, but as far as distribution to service the entire town. And what we do now have is redundancy to be able, if we need to shift power over to another transformer to keep power going, we have that ability that we didn't before. It takes the load off a little bit during the regular days. But the one thing that's been a huge difference that we've really noticed is when the winds come up and we have storms, a lot of time there's holding your breath or crossing your fingers that power wouldn't go down or crews have to go out. And we've gotten a lot of stability through that improvement, and that's big because we want to make sure we try to maintain electrical service to the customers where we can. So it's definitely been a big improvement, and prior councils and their work with that has really made that happen.
Yeah. You guys are looking at a little bit of downtown revitalization, too, if you can get some grants and so forth?
Yeah, we're certainly working with that. We have a community redevelopment authority made up of a very dynamic group of individuals on there that are working to get some groundwork laid and some, policies in place and things put together to work towards that, as well as try to get some grant funding to help. And by downtown revitalization, that's helping with funding new businesses to go in the town, but it also ends up working with how do we make downtown look more appealing to make somebody want to put a business in there. And one of the things that they're doing is trying to get some grant funding. So we're working really hard to get income surveys returned by our residents, which are confidential. To try to get that in so we could get the proper income designation to make us eligible for grants for that project, as well as worker training grants and things that we might be able to do. But until we establish that, we're kind of at a standstill. So we're hoping people will get those turned back in.
All right. We'll talk a little more right after this.
Is your wireless computer network secure? With their years of professional service, you can trust Intralinks Technical Solutions to keep your small or medium business computer system up and running. Not having a secure wireless network can put your computers at risk. Call Intralinks at 632-6590 to have one of their highly experienced techs set up, troubleshoot, and secure your wireless network. For weekly tips and information, friend Intralinks on Facebook at intralinks.net/Facebook.
Back on News Extra this morning, we're speaking with Bayard Mayor Michelle Coolidge, very active person in her community and done some good things. And over there in Bayard, and one of the things they are doing is having a 4-person golf tournament to benefit their Parks and Recreation Department.
Absolutely. We talked about over the last year how other groups and organizations will host a tournament to raise money for this, that, or the other, and just thought, why can't we do our own? I don't think there's any law against that, so that is one thing we checked out. It's totally legal, and just being able to draw on the fact that we have that nice little golf course there to be able to use, and we know Parks and Recreation is definitely a vital part of a community to make sure people have a quality of life to be able to go play ball or hang out and have a picnic or go to the pool to swim once in a while, but it's not really the most liquid in terms of generating funds. So we wanted to make sure that we're able to supplement the funding to be able to do improvements on our ball fields, and we've got a tennis court situation that needs to be resurfaced and things like that. So we're trying to think of ways to be able to update that without doing an additional cost to the utility paying customers in town. So this golf tournament is going to be kind of a fun way to do that, and we're hoping to make it an annual event to be able to put that into our budget.
All right, July 16th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 4-person scramble. It's just $75 a person, and there will be some cash prizes and possibly a hole-in-one thing. You get a lunch and then a steak dinner afterwards.
Lunch and steak dinner, yeah. There'll be kind of a grab-and-go lunch to keep things moving tournament-wise so nobody holds anybody up, but there'll be a steak dinner in the evening, so that's included in the cost. And we do a pretty good steak there, too, so it's worth the trip. Yeah,
I've been there and done that. Okay, so put that on your calendar, July 16th, $75 per person for that. Chimney Rock 4-person golf tournament. We got about another minute to go. Mm-hmm. Real quick, this housing study that the Western Nebraska Economic Development Group is doing, very important, right?
Absolutely. It's our first real project as a group to be able to put that forward, and it's definitely something that all communities are facing and trying to identify kind of what the overall status is with housing and how you're able to document some of that. We do have a couple communities that have some information that's already been put together in that area, but through this project, we're able to help them take the next step with implementation. So it's kind of a rubber hits the road type thing with this WNED, and we're really excited to be able to kick that off with a meeting. They'll start that on the 18th as part of the WNED meeting with the firm being on site. So we're ready to get that moving.
All right, and that study will be done sometime this fall. We're looking, I think, at the end of September.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mm-hmm. Very good. Thanks, Michelle, for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it as well.
You bet. Michelle Coolidge, Mayor of Bayard, in today on News Extra.
On the air, online, and streaming live on your mobile device. 960 KNEB, Scottsbluff, Gearing, your trusted voice for news.